Hello once again and welcome to day 4 of my from scratch to track slot car building project. And today we are going to be working on painting and making rock surface. So far I've managed to do all of this in just 3 days, including legs, table and everything. And today we're going to cut down this foam here so it looks like rock and it's going to be painted. So I need to get started very early because the paint needs to dry so I can do the effects and I can do the weathering on it later today. So a huge task ahead, but this is going to be incredibly fun. So stay on the channel and see what I have in store for you. Yesterday was an amazing day. I managed to use all of those cans of expanding foam and the result was all of this over here. So this looks incredible. But there are a couple of problems with it. First of all, this doesn't quite look like rock at the moment. I need to remove all of the excess material that is expanded over the track here so the cars can pass again. So I'm going to do that as one of the first things today. I'm also going to cut down all of this foam so it looks more like a rock surface. So that's going to be a huge task. And when all that is done, I'm going to remove all the track pieces and paint everything grey. So this can hopefully dry in 5-6 hours or dry enough so I can start doing the weathering of all of this. So all of this looks like a rock surface when I'm finished today. So this is one of the major tasks of the project, because when this looks like rock and when the track is cleared, well, then we are actually ready to race and it will look like a real slot car track. Then I only need to do the electronics and I need to add all of the scenery items like trees and small details and so on. So, going to be incredible. Looking forward to finishing this. Before I do any more work on the track itself and start cutting all of this foam up, I am going to start a couple of 3D printers to printing the prototypes for the bridges, because I designed those yesterday while I waited for this to dry up. And it usually takes a long time to 3D print stuff, and there are actually quite a lot of bridges here, and I luckily have access to several printers, but I'm just printing a single prototype to begin with here, and then we can test if it works. So let's start off by getting that 3D printer running. This is my printer, and as you can see I have already started printing some of the stuff from yesterday. This is one of the bridging elements, and the thing here is that this is a prototype. So this printer up here is a rather fast machine. I've set it up inside close to my work area so I can 3D print the stuff I have just made and see if they turned out great. And then I can send it to some of the other printers if this turns out as it should. This is part of the bridge, and I am really excited when this is finished to see if the track actually fits, if I have measured correctly. Because if I haven't done that, I'll have to redesign it, and that would be a shame. I'm printing it in a dark brown color, so I can have as little post-processing as possible. So the idea is that we just want to overspray this with a lighter or darker brown to get that textured wood feeling. So as little post-processing as possible if I'm going to make this project. But we'll just leave this printer up here working. It looks fine, very fine indeed. And then we'll check this out when it's finished, and then we can start off the other printers. While the 3D printer is working hard for its living on some of the scenery for the track, I am going to be working hard down here on cutting down the rest of this foam. And this is going to take a lot of time, so I'm probably just going to do a time lapse of this. That took a lot longer than expected, but I have finally managed to cut away all of the excess foam along the track, and just look at this mess. So I'll have to clean that up, but not right now. Before I proceed any further, and the next step will be to remove the track and paint it, I thought that it would be a great idea just to check if the cars can actually run on the track and catch if there are some minor faults around the edges. I have done a bit of testing while doing this, but not the whole track yet. So I experienced that some here along the turns, the car sometimes got their front end stuck, so I've cut a bit extra off these areas. So I'm just going to do a test run on both tracks with a couple of cars, and then before I remove the track I'm going to find another couple of cars, because it would be a real shame if it was just these two cars that could drive around the track and other cars had problems. So I'm going to do a thorough test before removing the track pieces and painting everything. So I'm just going to set the camera up and then do a test run. Well, let's get this test run started. We are going to start with this Red Bull here. And as I said before, I am going to test other cars to make sure that everything can drive on the track. So this Red Bull Formula 1 racer seems to be just fine. Oh, I pressed that, not the track's fault. So just got too much pace there. Forgot to turn off the DRS and then I turned it, so, or something like that. When I get around here, I'm just going to test the second track, so let's see if it runs just as smooth there. That seemed very fine on the first one. And now I'm doing this with my left hand, so let's see if we get any accidents. So far, so good. Yeah, nice. All the way around, no problems at all. Seems very fine. So now I'm just going to turn this off. I'm going to take a quick break, and after the break I'm going to test some more cars, and then I'll remove all of the track and get this painted. This bridge looks quite fine, so it apparently turned out okay. So now there's only one question that remains, and that is if one of the track pieces here fits inside it. I'm not as worried with the straights as I am with these corners or turns, but let's just see here. The idea is that, yeah, it fits perfectly. So the track piece will stay down here, and then I can add some railing on these areas up here. So I need 2 of these for each of the track pieces, but I designed them like this because then I could print them on smaller printers, and if I share them, other people can also print them on smaller printers. A set of different cars from my racing room for the Career Go series, and I have tested the track with this car, but I'm going to test it, both tracks with all of these cars, to make sure that everything is perfect before I disassemble the track and paint this stuff up, because it would be a real shame painting everything up and then discovering that the cars can't pass in a specific area. Then you'll need to cut that open and paint it again. So let's test all of these cars. The track has been tested and everything seems to work now. A bit of cleaning might be required, but I can always do that when it's disassembled. So now I'm going to take all of the track pieces, remove them from the tabletop here, and then I can get started painting. So time for a time lapse. Just 4 hours late, regarding my own time schedule anyway, and I'm ready to start painting this, and that is actually very simple. It's just going to be grey everything, and all of these tones, highlight, mid-tones and shades, and all of the texture in the rocks, I'm going to do those afterwards. So this is basically going for the fastest possible way to make this look like rock. So off to the painting process, new time lapse. Once again, it's beginning to get to the end of the day, and this is day 4, and so far I have managed to get all of this done. I unfortunately had to call in the wife to help me paint a bit here, which cost me a favor, and I actually don't know if that was worth it, but it is done, so no returning. But so far it looks like this, and I think this looks pretty good. The thing to note here is that I didn't manage to do any of the earth tones, shades, highlights and so on this rock texture. So I only managed to paint this. This took so long to paint all of this stuff because this foam here, it takes up a lot of paint, and I almost had to wash it in it to get it to stay in every place because there are all of these small gaps and holes and so on. And I needed to get the paint everywhere. But I think it turned out great so far. So tomorrow I'm going to start the day by adding all of these small details, textures and so on in the rock surface. And I'm basically going to do much of it using spray paints. So that's going to be really fun, just painting along here. So just remember to wear a mask when doing something like that. And I hope to be able to finish all of the texturing and surfacing of the rock texture here before around 12 o'clock, and then I'm going to start working on the electronics for the track, so the controls. But still going in the right direction, and I ain't that far behind my schedule, so it's okay. That's it for day 4 of the From Scratch to Track project, and it ended up pretty good. So tomorrow I think it's going to look like a real landscape when I'm finished there. So lots to look forward to, so remember to check out that episode too. And nothing else to say. Thank you all for watching. Remember to subscribe to the channel, leave a like, comment, feedback, always appreciated. So thank you all for watching and have a great day everyone.